Hello, this is a presentation on the idea of natural language processing by Brandon Ghearing and Jared Helton. Despite humans becoming more accustomed to technology over time and the growth that the field has seen over the last 20 years, there is still an astronomical amount of learning that will occur over the next 20 and beyond. The gaps in our knowledge will start to fill with this idea being prevalent. Curiosity and exploration will lead to new gaps in learning and creation to open. One of the gaps that has proven itself to be extremely valuable to the world of technology as we know it is natural language processing, or NLP. There are many cases where we interact with this technology on a daily basis, consciously or not. This advancement has benefited companies and organizations through the use of chatbots, translation software, search engines, grammar correction software, voice assistants, etc., all of which are forms of NLP. More research into NLP is necessary to fill the gaps of understanding in creating and taking advantage of this powerful technology. In addition to gaining knowledge, the end result of mastering a technology this powerful will create endless opportunities for the companies and organizations that use it, as well as common people wanting to translate text. Communication is one of the most mutually important traits of each species on the planet. And this is why, over the past decade, we have invested so much time and money into understanding and creating a cross-lingual software network. NLP can bridge the gap of communication error between different societies and cultures across the globe through any format such as text, speech, or even Braille, to provide just a few examples. And these communication errors are seen throughout history to have caused violence. The ideas behind our proposal, or our research questions, are: how can we continue to build and grow a pool of supporting data for each low resource language, where low resource languages are languages that we don't have enough data, such as verbal sounds, meanings, or text meanings, currently evaluated to be put in an AI system to provide full sentence translations. Next question being: how can we incentivize the learning of a low resource language? And the third question being: how do we decide which low resource languages are more important in developmental stages? Each of these questions are important in their own right due to the significance of having low resource and high resource languages, and this leads directly into the main issue of NLP development. Globally, there is a data deficiency on low resource languages for integration into current neural networks. High resource languages that have had texts written in them and word of mouth spreading them for millennia, such as English, Spanish, French, German, any of the above common spoken languages today, are readily available to be put into NLP systems and develop AI learning around. But low resource languages have no such benefit. Ideally, NLP systems would be developed for every low resource language at the same time, but the key points of these questions point out reasons as to why this cannot occur: lack of data, lack of data collection incentivization, and undecided priority. Africa has many diverse and different cultural variations of languages, and language modeling with African low resource languages has proven to be difficult due to unannotated datasets, or datasets lacking translation or support. Regarding this point, the question is asked: what resources can we gather to annotate these datasets? And are the native speaking experts that can help with this annotation actually willing to help, or possibly not due to their cultural views? The idea is that if a bilingual individual exists for each of these cultures, then there must be some sort of incentive we can provide to convince them to set aside these views to help with annotation. In our eyes, the actual translation may be enough, as it would increase transit to the location and trade with the people of this location, as well as eventually speed up their technological development where this low resource language sets its home. But there could be some other cultural reason as to why they would not want to accept that as an incentive. Globally, developments in the NLP market aim to over double the revenue from the market from $10 billion this year, 2022, to 26.4 billion in 2024, as well as a compound annual growth rate of 21% during this period of time starting back in 2019. Overall, our research itself consists of searching for participants that can support in language data collection, such as bilingual individuals or individuals willing to learn a high resource language, for instance, English, Spanish, German, French, any of the above common languages today, and then annotate for enough incentive to one of those languages. Knowledge transfer consists of breaking down low resource languages, understanding them, and creating usable data out of this information. Ideally, enough text and verbal information could be gathered to do voice or textual translations, as well as have history for this location be well understood and well attributed to why their language developed the way it did, how the language sounds how it sounds, etc. Awareness growth for NLPs ideally comes with helping develop an understanding of technology on a global scale so that the value of NLPs becomes more visible to the public eye. Integration comes with breaking gathered data down and starting knowledge transfers into a neural network for the ML or machine learning process. Overall, natural learning processing has already shown the impact it can make globally by allowing different societies peaceful interaction with one another. In our current state, we face the issue of finding a solution to gathering resources for data deficient languages. Our expected results consist of native speakers understanding the importance of their participation, as well as becoming more willing to participate in knowledge transfer between languages. This technology becoming more globally accepted throughout low resource cultures and increasing the ideally exponential rate of NLP spreading globally, as well as the integration process beginning for these low resource languages into our neural network. In the end, there are currently 1,250 to 2,100 low resource languages in Africa alone, each having received very little recognition in terms of NLP. Current data models for all of these low resource languages show very high data deficiency, and it is currently most necessary to find ways to reconstruct our studies and training methods to find more availability in structured data, as well as finding or possibly creating native speaking experts willing to annotate for us.